Season 7. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, you started in Mexico. I'm curious what you want to share about this first episode and what's to come this season.
We start season 7 off with a bang, and we've been blessed and graced with 13 episodes. Allegedly this is our final season. This is our swan song. So it's a little bittersweet, but we're doing it in a big way, as you can see, starting in Mexico City. I mean, we come out the gate guns blazing. Epic chase scenes. I'm running around the streets of Mexico City after the bad guys. Like you don't have time to take a breath. And so that's what all 13 episodes are going to be. You're going to, and it's just going to be that signature, you know, our theme song, na 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 na. And you know what comes with that: motorcycle chases, car chases, hand-to-hand combat, Hondo running around, jumping over things and beating up people, and you're trying to save the day. But I'm also very optimistic. I'm excited for this season. We start this Friday, but I'm also very optimistic that in the game of Hollywood, numbers matter. And so we've had so much support from the fans through the seasons. And I've had so much support for 30 years of my career from fans, especially my baby girls out there in Canada. They've never let me down. They've had my back. But I make the joke all the time that if my knees can hold up so that I can run around and be badass Daniel Hondo Harrelson, you know, then I ain't done running and gunning. So, you know, is this the end? It may be. And if it is, we say thank you. I'm so proud to have been a part of such a fun, cool show that the world is taking notice. We got Howard Stern talking about us on his radio show. He got COVID, I guess, and was holed up in his house for 2 weeks, and he binge watched all 6 seasons. He knows every detail, every nuance of the storylines and characters, and you know, so that's cool to hear. And then just fans around the world, and then we premiered on Netflix, and we went from 11 to 4. Then we were the #1 show on Netflix, and we stayed steady in the top 15. So people are finding SWAT and enjoying SWAT. I'm getting letters and comments, and people are, you know, coming up to me in the streets, just going, "Yo, Hondo, fill the gaps, stay liquid." I mean, it's been really fun. But this season is going to be 13 episodes of just edge of your couch. Don't want to miss a thing, and you don't want to miss it.
We'll cross our fingers that this isn't the end. Who knows? Maybe there's some chance it can persevere.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
And we won't talk about the ending of this first episode, but what we will talk about is what was Mexico like to film in, because it must be interesting taking the show there.
It's been so cool. And in 6 seasons, this being our 7th, we've been able to travel the world, you know, I pinch myself, like I'm living a dream just to be an actor on a cool show, but then to actually perform and do it in other countries. We've been to Mexico 3 times. We've been to Thailand, been to Japan. And it's been, but Mexico City was so beautiful. And when you see it on camera, just the sights, we were right in the middle of it. Really wonderful, nice people, so much culture. But just, you know, we did about a little over a week in Mexico City, and it's epic. The show is epic. The shots we got are epic. These beautiful drone shots. But just to tell our story and to be Hondo and run through the streets of Mexico City, I mean, not many shows get to do that. And but it's a testament to this show and people around the world really embracing us, and that's a really good feeling. I mean, that's bigger than anything I could have dreamed of.
Has marriage changed him at all? Because we start the season, he's now married. How does that change him this season at all?
Well, he's a father now, and he's married, Hondo, and it's changed him in the sense of it's not just about him anymore. And you know, he's the leader of a team, and he risks his life. You know, he leaves his home and doesn't know if he's going to come back, and he's responsible for his team. He's responsible for so many people. His motto is, "We protect those who can't protect themselves." But now he's got to worry about his own mortality, you know, because he wants to be there for his wife, wants to be there for his daughter. And I love that, because there's a human element about that. I mean, you know, and with our show, since the beginning, we were trained by real life San Diego PD SWAT, LAPD SWAT, SEAL Team 6, you know, real law enforcement. how to move like them, how to communicate like them. And we wanted to, yes, we're just actors playing pretend, but we wanted to give a sense of authenticity and realness to the show, to applaud the men and women that really do this for a living. And the best compliment we can get is when men and women of law enforcement come up to us and say, you really do us proud. So, our show is a thrill ride, crazy signature action, but we also incorporate, beautiful messages, a lot of humanity. So we stay grounded, and so you can have fun with our show, but you can also feel with our show. So it's nice that I get to be the badass, but being just the badass would be one note and kind of boring. But when you get to peel the layers of the onion back, and so you see that Hondo has a heart, Hondo has kryptonite. He's fighting for good and doesn't always succeed, but he never quits that fight. So there's something interesting about that, because I think people, or anybody, no matter who you are, can relate to that.
Well said. Well, I'm curious, this might be a hard question, but in all these years of doing the show, do you have a favorite memory? Like, if this is the end of the show, and again, we'll hope not, but if it is, do you have a favorite moment from everything you've done?
Do I have a favorite moment of SWAT? Man, that's tough. I get action-wise, I mean, we've done so much on this show. It's crazy. But here's Shemar Moore, me. I'm not too good with heights. You know what I mean? So it takes me a minute to get used to heights. I've gone skydiving and done the whole thing to get over my fear of heights. And I had if you haven't skydived, you got to skydive. It's just the craziest feeling in the world. But Shemar's not good with heights. Hondo's not scared of anything. So season 1, episode 2 was an episode called Cachillo. And they literally hooked me up to the side of a Black Hawk helicopter and they built a platform on the outside of the helicopter, on the outside, not the seat inside, on the outside. And I had to stand on that thing, and they hooked 3 cables up to my back so I wouldn't fall to my death. And they literally flew this helicopter 500 feet off the ground with another helicopter chasing us around with cameras on it. And they took me up in the air, but they took me up about 50 feet so I could get used to it. And they said, just give us a signal and we'll go up. We went up 50 feet, and I almost went to the bathroom in the worst kind of way. And I said, take me down, take me down. And they were like, what's wrong, Mr. Moore? And so it was only episode 2. So I was like, I can't be a wimp. I was like, I'm Hondo. I'm this badass dude. And my stunt double was right over there. And they said, well, we can bring him in. And my ego kicked in, and I was like, no. I'm not going to be that dude. And I was like, I'm going to figure this out. Just give me a second. And then after I got through the yayas, I just, I said a little prayer, and I said, screw it, we're going to do this. And they took me up, and then they took me up. And then about 30 minutes later, I was out there dancing on that platform. I was like, look at me, look at me. And then I got to do one of the most heroic things that I've ever done on a show. So that I will never forget.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations for everything the show has become, and best of luck.
Thank you very much, my friend. Take care of yourself.